if you're a man in your late 30s or your 40s and you're still struggling in the area of dating, you're either avoiding them altogether or you're just going around in circles, never getting anywhere, never having good experiences. It's got nothing to do with you, who you are at a deep level. It can be really easy to think that. I thought that for so many years. I thought there was just something unlovable and unlikable about me, and just women just had to keep away from me. I really, really believed that for many, many, many years, and it was really depressing and horrible. I managed to break out of that, and I saw the truth of what was happening, and I saw that it wasn't me at my core that women were trying to get away from. They were actually trying to get away from my inauthenticity. It was my inability to be present and to actually be comfortable being me at my truest depth with them that actually created the discomfort in them that made them want to get away from me. Essentially, I was rejecting women before they had a chance to reject me, but I thought it was them that were actually rejecting me. So if you resonate with any of these experiences, then please hang around, because I want to let you know exactly what's going on here, because it can be turned around, it can be fixed, and it's actually quite a simple fix as well. It can take a little bit of work, but it's really, really possible. Guys, if you're enjoying my content, I'd love for you to sign up to my newsletter. You can click the link in the description below. You can get uncensored content, also deals on any workshops and coaching packages that might be coming up in the future. So, especially us older men, we grew up before the woke movement took away men's masculinity and left us thinking unconsciously, without knowing, because we're so influenced by social media and society in general and all of it. It's left us thinking that our masculinity is a threat to women and that we have to hide it so she can feel safe. And what it's doing is it means that we deliver ourselves in a way that's not real, because our masculinity is our true expression of who we are as men. When our nervous systems are safe, when we're in a safe, embodied, present state. As men, we're naturally masculine, that's who we are. And we're being taken away from that state. We're being told it's bad, it's wrong, it's a threat, and it's fucking us up. It's disempowering us on so many levels. So the work that I do is helping men see that, heal that, come back to having a present, embodied sense of, just having a healthy nervous system. And you think of a man who's just like got all his shit together and he's confident, he's always going to be embodied. That's just naturally what happens when we've got our shit together, when we're feeling confident. It's when we're living out the stories that are stored in our head, our conditioning, that's when the problems arise. That's when we become overly analytical. That's when we second guess our every move. That's when we get needy for connection. That's where we start to deliver ourselves in a way that we think is what the women want from us. Now, a lot of women have been trained to think in alignment with how we're being, which is like being super nice all the time. But on a nervous system level, what she wants is a grounded man who doesn't deliver himself in a way that ensures he stays safe. And that comes from being embodied. I mean, it's the first step, right? Is learning how to inhabit your body so you're present when you're in front of a beautiful woman on a date, when you go and say hi to her or whatever you're doing. So, look, there's so many different angles I can approach from here, but you want to seek depth, and if you don't want to seek depth, then why do you really want to be in your 40s and just seeking empty connections and just trying to get a woman to like you, because it's just never going to lead anywhere. if you want to really start enjoying these experiences, you want to find your truth, find who it is underneath all the bullshit that's been put in you for so many years now. Because most men our age, they've no idea what society has done to them. They've no idea who they are underneath all of the bullshit. Now, when you grew up, you might have had a friend, or you knew a guy who was just a natural with women, right? He had no, women just were naturally attracted to him. Now, you might have thought, from your perspective, that there's something that he has, might be his looks, whatever, his money, his wealth or whatever. There's something about him that women were attracted to that you don't have. And that's just the way it was. And you might still think that now. You might, even unconsciously. It doesn't mean that you're aware of that thought. It could, that belief that would have started when you were younger, you could still carry that now. And it leads you to think that who you are cannot have those experiences, cannot be confident with women and create deep connection. It couldn't be further from the truth. What actually is going on here is that those guys were just comfortable being themselves. They were just being them. Right? Now, often when you're good looking, you have better experiences at school. People tend to gravitate towards the good looking people, and then as a result, they were more comfortable being themselves because they had that confidence. So they had kind of like a head start. But you can develop that in yourself too, but it comes from kind of reparenting yourself. And did your parents ever tell you that you're completely okay as you are? Were you ever praised for who you were being instead of achieving all the time? Often we received praise when we did well at school, when we got good grades, when we learned to be quiet in a restaurant or whatever it was, right? But were we ever praised just for who we are, for our essence, our beingness? Almost never. And that's when we look at the world, everyone's out there trying to fucking prove themselves all the time because they learned that that's how they get praised, that's how they get seen, that's how they get love, is by achieving and doing all the time. And we take that into relationships, into dates, especially because women represent our mums, where a lot of these wounds might have come from. Not to suggest that mums are wrong in any way, but you can't give a child what they need in today's society. Like if the mum's out working all the time, she hasn't got time to give us, the kids, the attention that they need. That's a big reason why we all get a bit messed up, right? But I'm digressing a little bit here. So within you is your essence. It's essentially a feeling of being you. Can you locate it now? It might seem a bit weird and unusual, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Don't let that fool you just because you can't access it straight away. See if you can notice, and you can close your eyes if this helps. This will help if you close your eyes. If you notice that within you, within your internal world, there's feelings, there's emotions, there's sensations, and there's thoughts. None of that is who you are. You are not your thoughts, you're not your emotions. You are the presence, the awareness from which these things arise and fall back away from. Thoughts come and go, feelings come and go, but what remains ever present is your awareness. If you can find a sense of that from an embodied perspective, so you're feeling feeling your presence in your body, you can access your essence, and that essence has been with you from the moment you were born. That's never changed. It's the part of you that literally stays the same, always. But if you learn that that doesn't get your connection needs met, you're not going to bring it out when you're on a date, when you're in the bedroom, when you're in a relationship. Instead, you're going to act out of these childlike parts that still think they're stuck in the 80s or the 90s, that are just constantly trying to prove themselves and therefore never really get connection, because it's the needing for connection, the wanting of connection, that actually stops connection. Your wanting of connection is getting in the way of you actually connecting. What you've got to do is literally go into meditation and access these parts of you that were there when you were a little child, and learn to see it as okay. It's who you are. You don't want to be someone you're not. Let the dating coaches and the red pill guys do all their teachings about trying to prove yourself to be someone you're not. Don't get caught up in that bullshit, especially if you're in your 20s and you just want to fuck around, and that's fine. Even if you're in your 40s and that's what you want to do, great, go and learn from a pickup coach. But most guys, when we hit our late 30s and especially into our 40s, we don't want empty connections, we want love, we want depth. And that can really only come from you embodying you, not embodying someone else's version of who they say you should be. It's you finding the essence of you. Your essence is so unique that no one in this world has ever had your essence. No one in this world will ever have the essence of you. Don't hide that shit. Own that shit. You could be a train spotter geek guy who has no money and no friends. If you own that shit, if you totally are comfortable with you being that, you're not going to have any problems. You're going to be fine. But so many of these beliefs that we're not okay as we are unconscious. This comes from bringing so much awareness to our patterns, seeing them for what they are, reminding ourselves that our essence, our presence is okay, it's lovable, it's fine, and then start bringing them out. When you can bring that level of presence and the okayness of who you are to the bedroom, that's where things can really start shifting. You can start having incredibly pleasurable and wild experiences that aren't available when we're caught up in performance. And that's what a lot of porn teaches us. It's to perform all the time. But if you really want to have your woman think that you're the best she's ever had, and by a long way, it's not even that hard to get to that state, but if you want her from a genuine place of care to start having deep, embodied, full body orgasmic experiences that she's probably never had before, it requires you to step out of performance mode, step into the ability to just be present with her, and be comfortable with deep eye contact, and just feel into your body when you're with her, which allows you to feel into her energy. And together you can start creating experiences that are spiritual in nature and will shift you onto different timelines. It will change your life, essentially. If you're interested in this work, you can sign up for one-on-one coaching. I'll include the link below. I've also got a newsletter you can sign up to if you're interested in learning more about this work or any deals I might have for future programs and workshops. Please do subscribe and share this video with anyone you think would enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next video.